my goodness. So now we have to be careful what we say.
It might not matter. Nobody. Oh, we got one person. Stacy Schaefer.
That's all we need.
Reliable. And Todd Newport. Yay.
Isn't that what Madonna said? If we only reach one person, we're not working hard enough.
Yeah, but it'd be nice if there's more of them than there is of us.
Well, now is that your house behind you?
That's my parents' barn, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yes. If you want to see the house, here's the house. See if I can find the picture. I opened up all these pictures. So in this picture, that's my bedroom right here. Do you see my little thing?
Yes.
And then that's our dining room. That's the music room. There's the big round window.
How many times did you jump out the window and off the roof to kind of sneak out?
Not many. Only they would go out this window and But we would, when I was a kid, when it would snow like this, actually more, we'd sneak out. Well, we wouldn't sneak. We'd shovel off the roofs, and our reward was to jump down into the snow pile.
That's fun.
I don't know how much of a reward that is, but yeah, there's also a basement down here too. So it's 3 floors and then a basement. And they've lived here for 53 years.
Wow, very cool. Like I said, you look at it, it's very charming.
Charming. My parents would love for you to say it's charming.
Why wouldn't I?
Because it's huge. It is huge. It's and we only use like a couple of the bedrooms. I keep telling my dad we're trying to clean out all the rooms so I can entertain more people there.
Charming doesn't have anything to do with size, does it?
Charming was more like a cozy, comfy.
Yes, yes. I mean, I never had a woman look at me and go, "That's cozy." It's it was,
we need people to chime in here. What's the definition of cozy? Says you all. Post in the Q&A. We're gonna see if Darby's right or I'm right.
You know what I do want to run, because it was crazy. Last weekend was literally 2 weddings and a funeral. And I haven't posted anything about Johnny, but I will. Now, my wife, God bless her, is world-renowned, interior designer. Like I said, she's flying off again now, creating more stuff. But she's not a very good photographer. So I was kind of hesitant to show this because I think the Crawford legacy will probably show the whole thing at some point. But I thought, since this is just for the darlings and we're sharing it here, that maybe I should go ahead and share this. So this is very quickly what last weekend, what we did. And she just looked at me and said, Darb, I just don't do funerals anymore. I didn't understand at the time, but recently I've been understanding it. And I have been skipping a lot of these because we've been losing too many recently. I know Will Smith, take our hat off for him for a second. He just left us. So I don't come out to a lot of these. But for the love of Charlotte, Johnny, Bobby, his whole family, for a lot of you that I know flew in, drove in, and even during these crazy times, came to pay homage to him. So I don't have to sit there and tell you of all his, great achievements and his awards. And it was really kind of hard to me to even think of, what do you say about a guy that looks great in white tails and a hat, and then the next minute he's jumping off a horse onto a bull? It's great. And, one of the other reasons was I've done a lot of things for kid actors. I've been in a lot of different organizations. And before I forget, let me say the patron saint to all of us child actors, Paul Peterson. Thank you. And Bobby knows, everybody. I mean, he really is. What he's done, and I've been fortunate to work with him and SAG-AFTRA Young Performance Committee looking at it. Anyway, all these things for kid actors. So I kind of know a lot about him, being one myself too. And unfortunately, there's some that have given us kind of a bad name. But that sure wasn't Johnny. I didn't get to know him when I was younger, even though we were both born in LA, even though we were both on television, probably, while still in diapers. And it wasn't until later when we go to conventions and stuff. And I remember, I think the Hopalong Festival was the first one with the rope and stuff. Okay, how many people have been hit in the head by Johnny's rope? Can I see your hands there? Come on. You know it. If you hung around Johnny long enough, you were getting hit in the head by that rope. But you know, it wasn't until we did a Malabar event. He, Haggerty, Dan Haggerty, and myself, and it was just the three of us. And I don't want to spread any rumors, but Haggerty can and be a little jokester, and anyway. And we all did an interview together. And the guy they sent up from the local television station was obviously very well versed and did a lot of his homework, because as soon as the cameras rolled and they started doing the interviews, he looked at me and said, "So how was it working with Chuck Connors?" I said, "Oh, it was great, you know, and I loved that rifle, and it was all," and Johnny, as you can see with his humor, was great. He picked it right up. "Oh yes, you know, and Fess Parker, he was so tall." And we did it till we had Dan Haggerty peeing in his pants, I gotta tell you. So, you know, that's when I really got to know Johnny and bond with Johnny. You know, we were only born a few years apart. Like I say, he had a television father for 5 years in Chuck Connors. I had a television father for 6 years in Fess Parker. You know, we grew up, we did a lot of the same things. And for him to come out the other end as the gentleman he was, as the caring about his fans and his friends, that's what couldn't keep me away from coming and saying a few words for him. And like I said, Paul, I wanted to make sure, because he felt really bad, but you know, he's got a few of his own challenges, but he helped set up the GoFundMe and everything. And just so many, I got a lot of texts from people that wanted to do. Just like the promo that we did. All right, one last thing about Johnny, because I love it. We knew we wanted him in Bill Tillman and the Outlaws. And we knew what kind of state of mind he was unfortunately falling into. So we actually shot his scene a year before we did any of the other principal shooting. And I had him fly out, the director picked him up on the airport, and then on the way back to his house, the director was like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I have to rewrite everything. He's not gonna be able to say these lines. He's just not going to," because Johnny, unfortunately, at the time was kind of taken over by this. And showed up the next day on the set, and they threw Johnny up on the horse. And once he got on that horse, he started riding it around. The rope came out, and he was the Johnny Crawford, and he was saying his line. And he was supposed to actually ride in, get off the horse, and give his speech. And the director, no, stay on the horse. It's great. And just to tell you, you talked about his smile that he always had. And I know in the last, you know, the times I got to spend with him at the very end, he might have not known who I was, but he sure still had that smile. And he was still in that great thing. But anyway, and the final thing was, and it was not written in the script, but when he took off on the horse, all the kids followed him, all the extras and stuff, because he just had that magnetism about him. So it's great. I love that we got to do that. I love that he got to see it. The people that showed up at the wonderful McRae Ranch got to see that showing. And I'm going to stop rambling on because there's too many stories to tell them. But just Johnny, love you. You're a role model. You've meant so much to so many people. I think there's one or two ladies out here where you might have been their first crush. Just guessing. But I thank you for asking me to come up and say some things, and I certainly thank you with everything that's going on that you came out also to say goodbye and celebrate. That's one thing that did get me out of here, Charlotte, is that it is a celebration of his wonderful life. Thank you. I gotta say, it really affected me. I didn't think Sean was gonna come with me. You know, a few people backed out because there were so many people. It was the beginning of the resurgence of this pandemic. And anyway, like I don't know if I already told us, but yeah, about 4 minutes before walking out the door, when I sat down to put my boots on, I was just like, wow, this is hitting me harder than I thought. And I asked Sean if she would come and take me, and God bless her. In 4 minutes notice, she got dressed and took me and came to the event.
She looked dynamite too. She looked really good.
It was a lot of fun. And let's see, I might even have some pictures from the event. Their course is Bobby, Johnny's brother, and Wyatt. It was great. We got to spend time with Lisa and Wyatt. Wyatt, of course, opened up the McRae Ranch for the benefit for Johnny when we premiered Bill Tillman. So that was a lot of fun. Let's see what other fun pictures I have. Oh, we mentioned Will Smith, who passed. This, for those of you that are trying to put a face to the name, this was Will. I think he was on Boone about 5 different times.
Oh.
But we love Will. We're sorry that he passed. I think here, actually, Haggerty and I went to see him. And this was, I think I saw Will one time after this. But anyway, that's that.
Where was that at? Where was that taken?
That was actually taken at the Motion Picture Home. So let me, on a much better notice, because that's all kind of sad stuff and stuff. So this was the weekend. This was our 2 weddings and a funeral. This was one of the weddings. And it was so funny. I got to tell you the difference in these 2 weddings. And somewhere I have another picture. I can't find it. One was a web wedding because the bride and groom were in Seattle. His mom was in Spain. People were scattered all over. So it was so crazy. I mean, we only got, the picture was only showing the torso of the bride and groom and the wedding. I mean, it was a lovely wedding. I'm glad we got to be a part of it, but it was really kind of funny that for something that was set up to be done over the web, because I think it was called Web Wedding. Boy, they sure couldn't get the.
I was going to say there's actually a service for it now. That was smart.
Yeah, but they sure couldn't get. Oh, I got to find the picture somewhere. Oh, and that's driving me crazy. I told the story of when we talked about, the interviewer guy got us mixed up.
Yeah.
And I just saw a picture of Dan, me, and Johnny at the table with the interviewer. And Dan was like this. And I'm sure it's right when the interviewer guy started with the asking me about, the rifleman, how it was to be on the rifleman. And I just went through my pictures. I couldn't find it. Maybe Russ Hill has it because he's the Malabar guy, but it's driving me crazy. I can't find it. It's a perfect picture because you see Dad just like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
All right, we have a question from Todd Newport who says, so you didn't meet him, Johnny Crawford, at that show in the 70s with all the celebrities on TV that Glenn Ford hosted. So when you did When the West, How the West Was Won? When the West Was Fun.
When the West Was Fun. Yeah, and I did see Johnny, and no, we didn't spend that much time together. We were supposed to do a whole scene together, him and his dad, me and my dad, the whole father-son thing. But Fest decided not to show up that day. He just didn't want to drive down from Santa Barbara. But no, I didn't really get to meet. I had to have met him. I had to have at least shook his hand. But I didn't really get to know Johnny at all then. And then I got very interested in him. I tried to go when he was doing the big band and he was leading the orchestra. I thought, how fabulous is that? I tried to see that, but it really wasn't. My mom always said, if you're going to marry somebody, you got to wait 2 years and you got to travel with them. Because that really brings out the true person when you're traveling with them and things get thrown up and everything else. And it was really traveling with Johnny and getting to be with him at these different shows and stuff that I really got to know him and appreciate him.
So what was the first event you guys did together?
I think it was the Hopalong Festival in Ojai, which I don't even think they're doing anymore. But that's the first time. Yeah, I saw him get out and really do the rope tricks and jumping through the ropes and having a lot of fun. But it was really the Malabar trip with Haggerty that we really all kind of bonded. Here, let me show you. There's another fun one here. Let me show you this picture. This is just how we got around when we were there. This was the...
Oh, you found it. The mystery
This is
machine.
Lisa, the mystery machine. They would drive us around in this. It was great. I loved it.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny.
I gotta find that picture, Dan. It's driving me.
Who would-
crazy. Anybody else knows it?
Were you Shaggy, and who was Scooby Doo? No, I guess Dan could have been Shaggy. Who was the?
Who was the blonde with the ascot and the?
Was that you?
Come on.
Alan. His name's Alan. That's
Oh,
bad. I know that, but
Somebody was a Scooby fan.
too funny.
It
I'm
was,
glad you finally found that. You've brought that up a couple of times, and we've never seen the picture. So I'm glad you finally found that.
there we go. So here, let me show you the other wedding that we went to. This was the other one in Newport Beach. And this was really a fun one. Let me see.
Well, which one was online, and which one did you go to live?
The Newport Beach one we went to live. And I thought I had a picture. The bride and groom arrived by boat. It was an absolutely beautiful day.
Oh, wow. Look at that picture. That's a great picture.
Yeah, that was fun. That was actually from the wedding. So,
Boy, that's some backdrop. Is that all real flowers?
yep, real roses.
Holy moly. Look at that.
Yeah, it was good.
That would drive my husband's sinuses crazy.
No, sorry, can't take a picture. Sinuses. All right, where? Oh, here's another one from the Malabar, just if you want to see it.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
I love it.
So anyway,
Well,
that's
that
it.
answers that question. So was there a defining moment with you and like, because you hung out with Johnny at several events, was there a defining moment that you kind of knew you were good buds? Because you seemed pretty close by the time of his passing. Like you seemed one of the few that went out and spent time with him. So was there a defining moment where you kind of knew you were?
With Dan, it was when we went and took the picture and of the Wizard of Oz and the joke picture. And I saw what a great sense of humor he had. With Johnny, it was during that live interview when the reporter got us mixed up, and Johnny just picked up on it and rolled with it. And we just had a lot of fun. And then I loved it. He was like, he was trying to be the older brother, he'd tell me no ice in my water and no pepper on my food. And, he was telling me all the health things. And he really helped get me going with the media. He always had his laptop and he was, always entering it and keeping the fans up to date. And he showed me a lot about that too. It was great.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's cool. Let's see. Stephanie Canoon's on tonight. We haven't seen her in a while. Christine Flynn said that was a lovely remembrance of Johnny. Stephanie Canoon said, Darby, use your soothing voice to calm my screaming 7-week-old baby.
Shut up.
Oh, you have to sing like a lullaby or something, Darby. Surely you know something. That's right. You don't
Bullhead
sing.
catfish, Mr. I can't believe Merv Griffin found the one episode I sang in. Oh my God, that was.
That was a great Merv Griffin episode. I can't believe you've never showed us that before. That revealed some new and interesting information about you.
Oh, did you see that article I posted that Ray found for me?
I've been a little busy. Do you
I
not see
know.
the? Do you not
Okay.
see the place behind me?
No,
I'll
but
get right on that first thing as soon as I'm home.
boy, when we started doing these, Ginger had all the notes. She had done all the research, but being back with family, I'm gonna cut you some slack.
Where's my favorite engine? See, woo woo.
Your dad looked so happy with the train coming in and everything. That must have been a magic moment to be back with him during that.
Well, it was. That was not his station when he was the ticket agent. He was up in Montpelier, but ever since I was a kid, he has always loved trains. I wish I could have showed you a picture. I had a picture of his layout that's up on the 3rd floor, and his memorabilia and everything. But yeah, it was a pretty cool day. We were competing with every town in Vermont all the way up. But I just found an article somebody posted about the day, and they posted a picture from the train of Randolph, which is my town, but they took the picture out the side of the train that nobody's standing there. We're all on the other side. Like, seriously, how was it? So it looks like we had nobody show up for the event. I'm like so ticked. I can't wait to post something because we worked really hard. I posted a video trying to get everybody to come out, and it was crazy. But my friend Debbie was here. It was her first ride on on any train. So we rode from Randolph all the way up to White River Junction, which was kind of fun. I just forgot how much fun train travel is. They've got plugs now and internet, and it's it's great.
After I went up and did some polar bear watching in Manitoba and Churchill, I came back and I took the train all the way across Canada to the other coast, and it was so much fun. And it's a great way to travel and see things.
It's very relaxing. It's funny. One of the projects is finding my father's old timetables. And it's like from all these different railroad lines. So it's kind of fascinating because he's got a lot that are from before 1960, like from 1940 and the 20s. And then he's got a railroad guide that we found from like the 1800s. And
oh, wow. It's
been amazing. The treasures we have found. So we shall see. So we'd be getting very educated about railroad stuff. You'd think I'd know, but I don't know. But he's been telling us some great stories just about why his passion on things. And that's always nice to, it's funny. We called a place, I know this is your show, but we contacted a guy who specializes in timetables. Like he's really big into railroad timetables. He runs a club and the whole 9 yards. So I wrote an email and said that my brother and I were cleaning out my father's collectibles. And did he know anybody who might be interested in purchasing them? Blah, blah, blah. First thing the guy says when he calls is, "Sorry for your loss." To which my brother said, "Oh, he's still alive." But most of these railroad collectors are not, parting with their collections. And
right.
And the kids have to deal with it. And they're like, I don't know what to do with it. So, but we've had a great time here, being able to hear this, like finding something and saying, what is the story behind this? What's the story behind that? Which
and you can record it all now too. So that's great.
I could, but I'm too tired usually at the end of the day. It's exhausting.
No, instead you record us chit-chatting, like that's important.
Well, I needed to change it up. I needed to take a break. Don't be so critical, Darby. Well, it looked like your office before you got started recreating.
And I'll tell you what I should be doing right now, because I had to do an e-audition. And they said, we want to see a recent demo reel. I had to send them the worst demo reel. It was like 6 years old. It had none of the new stuff. It was like, so unprofessional. You'd think I was a newbie in this.
Oh my gosh. So Pamela Riley Pavkovich says, beautiful tribute to Johnny, Darby. Brenda Mudrack says, who's Alan? I know Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby. She's right. His name was Fred. Sorry, Brenda. You
said that, and I didn't question you. I'm like,
his name was Alan. Where did I get Alan? Oh no, he looked like an Alan.
Thank you, Brenda.
No, Brenda, I missed something. You didn't miss anything. You're on top of it. That's good.
Don't mess with Brenda. She knows her stuff.
I know. She is on it. Ted Newport says, any thoughts on the Western Legends Roundup? Your dad's film showing?
Absolutely. As far as I know, it's nice that a lot of it's outside.
Oh, my
hey,
goodness.
son. My son just showed up. See, I'm not drinking now.
Hey, I'll grab a beer to drink with you.
There you go.
Water, but this is a much better.
Come on over here and say hi. Look at him.
Your dad's hanging out at the island. He needs some company over there.
Yeah, look at me. I've been all alone on this desert on this tropical island. Oh, good. Yeah, he's coming from work, so he's a little filthy, and
just a touch.
We'll love him just the same. We have to quiz him about Kanab. Is he coming to Kanab?
Heck yeah, I am.
Of course he's coming to Kanab.
All right. You're the singer, right? You're the one that sings?
No.
Oh, he's not the one.
No, Nick is coming to Kanab. Unfortunately, his wife and baby will not be coming to Kanab. due to COVID
Aw.
and COVID concerns. You know, for the babies, I get it. Why risk it? As much as we would love to see them, and of course I'm heartbroken because I do have a thing for little Jones, but I can just understand there's a lot of people.
Hey,
Well,
there he is.
Hello, everyone. Oh man, look at this island.
Just me.
Obviously, I can see it already, but it's so nice.
Isn't it? Now I'm not the only one on the island.
Yeah,
so
that's
great.
That's well, I've actually been hanging out right. Hold on, wait for it. Over
Wait for it.
Watch where you put that finger. son.
there.
I know.
I've been over on the other side of that, but it's been pretty nice.
There you go.
Rock on. I say, woo, rock on.
Alright.
Well, I'm glad you're keeping your dad company. That probably means he's going to wrap up our chat. He doesn't need me anymore. He's got you now.
There we go.
No
Now
longer alone.
I have talked to. Speaking of future wraps here, I have talked to Veronica and Angela, and we're talking about the 5th, doing her episode.
Okay, so in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
So not next.
She was
Thursday,
actually at
but
Disneyland. I called her today. I said, well, you want to do it next week? And she said she thought the 5th was better. She's at Disneyland. It's a warm day to be there, but okay. Yes.
So is it going to be her and Angela or just her?
No, her and Angela.
And we're going to watch The Choosing.
We're going to watch The Choosing. And Angela has a new book coming out. Angela's very creative and has a couple of wonderful books. And she has a brand new one coming out. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk more about Kanab. I'm putting both my sisters on the panel when my dad does the show, because I went up and saw the thing and it said, you know, Q&A with Darby. Now it's going to be Q&A with Darby, Darcy, and Darren. But of course, I'm sure nobody will ask questions about me. We'll keep it all about my dad.
Yeah, you need to give your sisters talking points. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe just Darcy. Darren does pretty good. I'm just kidding. So that's going to be like all the adults. Is nobody bringing their kids? So it's going to be
no, actually, Christina from Hawaii will be bringing little Rocky. So they'll be coming in.
And how old is Rocky?
He's about the same age as Jones, and Jones just is about to have his first birthday. So like a 1-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there won't be parties till 2 a.m. at your place then, huh?
Why not? The baby's up 2, 3, you know, I mean, might as well party.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you join your son, but we got a couple more questions and then I'll let you go. How about that? So Pamela Riley Pavkovich says, when you and Johnny were in Cambridge, Ohio at the Hopalong Cassidy days, you both were a hoot and I enjoyed meeting both of you.
Thank you. And like I said, I think that's the first show I really did with Johnny.
Was there a lot of guests or was it not as many guests? Do you remember?
There weren't as many then. And another time we really had fun, and I have pictures of that I should put up. We did the Burbank Parade together, and they stuck us on the same float.
Oh, fun.
And that's when I kept getting hit in the head with the rope because he kept twirling that rope. And I was right next to him, and boom.
Should have just reached up and grabbed. I'm kidding. All right.
I also have good video. Now, I keep saying this, and I got to go find it. When we were at the Hollywood Museum, and a lot of the kid actors, for a minor consideration, we all got together and did a signing up there. And I got a great picture of him lassoing young Tabitha. Aaron Murphy, thank you very much. Right?
Yes. Aaron. Yep. Carla Craybaum came up with it.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
But
I knew it. Before I saw it, I remembered, oh, please, I'm not going to live this down when I see her next time.
That's so cute. You think she watches our show. You know, I have to post it first. I haven't actually posted it. So I know our little secret. Okay. Stephanie Canoon asks, can we do a watch party for Darby's Wagon Train episode? I believe it's the Ben Engel story. He even sings during it.
I do. You know, I haven't seen that. I
ever?
Maybe when it came out, I don't know, but I've seen still pictures. I've never seen the whole thing. That would be an interesting one.
We could do, if I can find it, you want to do it next Thursday?
Okay, we could do that.
Well, I'll see if I can find it.
And I have a picture of him pointing at my mom to get her off the set because she was taking those pictures. I love it.
All right. Oh, here you go. Benda Mudrack, Aaron Murphy, or something like that. You nailed it, Brenda. That's good. Pamela Riley Pavkovich gives a shout out to Ryder. Good evening, Ryder. He's got fans too.
I'm really looking forward to Kanab. I know that, you know, COVID and the resurgence of this has put a little bit of a damper in it, but hopefully it'll all straighten out by then.
Oh, Stephanie says, so he was quite young, meaning you, sang the chorus of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Now, see, I'm learning. So I didn't think I sang in anything else.
Well, we're going to have inquiry minds want to know. Carla Craybaum says, let's do that. I want to hear Darby sing. Darby sing. Darby sing.
You know, they tried to do that when Bobby Sherman, all these actors, you know, were making records and everything else. They actually did take me into a studio to say, okay, Darby, you know, you're going to do this. And I started singing. The guys, just back up from the mic a little further, a little further, a little further. Thanks. I'll get in the car and go home.
Well, so I was going to say, close the door behind you. You're perfect. Aw. Well, we heard you sing in the Mike Douglas thing. You actually were quite good. I know you've lost it as you've gotten older.
This is why we keep you around, Ginger, because you're so nice. Here you go. Thank you.
One last thing I did want to mention. Let's see if I can find the chat here. Oh, here it is. When you had showed your little clip, Stacy Schaefer said, "Don't worry, Darby. The official video of you is excellent." So they are working on putting out an official video for the Johnny Crawford thing that will include everybody. I did see a blue screen behind you, and it did look like that a camera and all.
Are you saying that my wife's photography wasn't like just top?
Hers was perfect for the situation. She did a fabulous job. She probably did it on purpose just so you stop asking her to film stuff of you. It's an old girls, old wives trick.
I've broken a few plates, but I still have to wash the dishes.
Oh, well, she's on to you because she's actually created the.
I know I keep saying this. I got to show you the house she did up in one of the last houses she did up in Montecito, the before and after. I will put that together right after I put together my demo reel.
Hey, your buddy Tom Quintana made it. I just see two question marks, but apparently he's here. You have to give him a shout out about your hat so he can actually hear you say it.
This is one of his too, isn't it? I mean, it fits, so it has to be one of his, right?
Yeah, but I don't see any sweat on the band or anything like that.
No. This one, there's a couple of his we keep nice and new. I had this at the wedding. It was great. It was outdoors, perfect.
So how many official Tom Quintana hats do you have now? 3?
I'm looking over because I'm going to put them up. You know how I put the posters up? I'm going to put them up on the wall. I think I might put the movies they've been in above them. Anyway.
Oh, that'd be cool.
1, 2, 3. And he just made the other one 4.
Wow. You're good. You're really racking them up there, Darby.
I got to keep doing more movies so I get more hats.
You have to do a one-man show and you just be different characters every time you wear the different hat. You'll just come on and go, ta-da, ta-da.
There you go.
Change your voice, change your character, change your hat. The Darby Hinton one-man show. I like it.
And then at the end, I'll just sing, and that'll make everybody leave and go home, and we'll have a good evening.
Only one of your characters has to sing. That'll be his thing, like.
There we go.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so we got Kanab coming up at the end of August. So August 26th to the 30th, right? 29th? When is it?
I believe.
So Thursday to Saturday.
To this Saturday. Everybody's out Sunday. And then after that, we have the Texas Way, which should be fun, in San Angelo, Texas. And
which I think Cindy Mitchum said something about she just visited some new fort there. She said it's really beautiful. Did they just remodel something there?
That's where it's going to be, at that fort. As far as I know.
I guess she just visited. She said it's really beautiful. They did an incredible job. So she said. And then we'll do the Williamsburg Festival, and we'll get to see some of Fuller's Phillies down there. Is that what they call themselves?
Oh, yes.
That doesn't sound right. Fuller's Phillies.
Phillies. Yes. Well, there's also the Fuller fandom, which is bigger, but anyway, this is where the Darby's Darlings was born.
Okay. And you just add on the dudes. Yours kind of rolls off the tongue a little better than, well, Fuller's Phillies does sound good, I guess, but what are you going to do?
So that's all great and looking forward to all of it.
And Darby got his brand new picture up on IMDb. So now all the world can cast him in whatever their new projects are. I will pass that information along to my most favorite director that I know. My husband.
And what a professional I am. I didn't have a picture up on IMDb. I don't have an Instagram.
You don't have a demo reel.
My demo reel is back in 2015.
Yeah, you've got some good stuff to add. So let me guess, you got to add Bill Tillman. You need to add Christmas Wishes, Wild Faith.
Absolutely, Wild Faith. Even Home on the Range.
Test.
Home on the Range.
What's Home on the cartoon?
No. I did a great little. It's like a docudrama, but it's on the movie Home on. It's on the movie. It's on the music Home on the Range. And who actually wrote it and came up with it. And it was a fun little production I did. I got to do that one with Buck Taylor too, and with one of my favorite all-time people, Rance Howard. And unfortunately, it's one of Rance's last pictures. But that was a lot of fun. Yes, I have all these things. I had to throw a Pace commercial on there with New York City.
That one. Okay, it's the Faith Hill one that I'm still having issues with. There I am in the background. There I am.
I got paid very well for that, thank you. And it went towards the SAG health plan, so I was a happy camper.
There you are. Blip. We still got to see the clip from 90210. You haven't showed us that one yet.
Oh, I haven't showed you that one either? Oh,
okay. There's so much to do.
And then we got to put together clips from Graydon, because I got to have Graydon on. I love the man. And we're going to have him on and talk about his book and stuff.
All right. So be excited, people. We're probably going to be on the air at least till the end of the year. Then who knows what season whatever will be.
You know, I just did this interview, right? Used to be an interview. You would go up, you'd go to the studio, you'd walk into an office, you'd give it your best shot. They might give you an adjustment or two and it's fine. And then you do it again and then you're out. Now it's e-audition. Make sure you send us a tape. Well, that means I have to edit the tape and I'm my worst critic. So now you have to do a number of takes and get it right. I mean, I spent hours doing that.
I told you need to hire an assistant. You're ready.
Ginger, thank you for signing on with me. Have fun. Say hi to your family.
To see you.
Tell your mom you were very good. You didn't say anything negative or anything.
That's okay. She was on, so she got to hear for herself. She knows. You want me to mention that my dad used to own Brigham Gelatin back in the day, which sell gels for the stars way back in the day. Third generation. So
sell gels? You mean
like they literally made the gels that would go over the lights.
Over the lights, right.
So my dad had a factory that he would go in and he'd mix the chemicals in a copper tub, and then you'd pour them onto glass, and then you'd let it dry, and then you'd peel off the sheets, and then they'd cut it, and then they'd bail it off to Hollywood, different Hollywood productions for that.
You get just that right color. Now you just go to Zoom and go photo in hand.
I know. We're talking about the good old days, right?
Right. Put a little Vaseline on the lens. Take out the wrinkles. Yeah.
Well, I think Brigham Gelatin actually was the only one who produced a gel that I think was Doris Day, or there was some actress that liked it. It was a certain frosted one that she preferred. She was Brigham Gelatin's gels that got it just right. So that was cool. So
I have a couple
shining moment.
I have a couple of Doris Day stories, but they're for another time. Ginger,
anyway.
Lots of love, honey.
Oh, good night, everybody. And next week we'll try to find the Wagon Train episode. Have some fun with that. 2 weeks, Veronica and Angela Cartwright, and we're going to watch Daniel Boone, The Choosing. So we got some back-to-back action going on there. So that's, yay. Yay!
Quiet, back to back. That sounds very risque.
Is that too much pressure? Is that too much pressure, Darby?
Well, wait till you read this article that I put up, if you take the time to read it and stuff, because it's, there were some political things in there. Anyway, goodbye.
Have a good one. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week.